Good morning. Thanks to our Deputy Financial Secretary, Michael, and Lu Zhong, Robert, Carmen, Sophia, and Rocky. Everyone, good morning. Actually, I'm sweating. Actually, every year we have this big discussion, just as what Michael raised. Last year, I remember before the show, I was talking to Chiu-Hong and say, hey, what should I wear? And he said, okay, they are government official, we should wear suits. And we feel very out of place when we're here because we are the only one wearing suits. But again, this is another year, and with Michael's instruction, maybe next year we can have a change of dress code so that we can all be more casual and dress like you. So okay, thanks for coming. It's another year, the second year of the Web3 Festival. Thanks everyone. I know a lot of you travel in, and actually this week I would say the weekend is all packed with all kind of events and activities. I was in 5 dinners last night. So I feel like there are free dinner everywhere in Hong Kong this week. So I think generally the mood this year, when I go around and talk to people, what do I feel like this year? I think this year everywhere I go, I talk to people. This is the mood of everyone. Overall, people working on Web3 are generally in a good mood. Why? I think everyone knows the most hot topic that we talk about, okay, I'm blocking the screen. The thing that we talk about, everyone, is about Bitcoin. Of course, we know how Bitcoin performed in the last few years. And if we take 2020 as a starting point, I think a lot of you know this chart. I think Bitcoin actually outperformed the Magnificent Seven, outperformed almost every asset class, almost every kind of investment, except one thing, except NVIDIA. So in the last 4 years, Bitcoin is the second most positive return in terms of investments. And as of today, I just checked this morning, is around 68,000. So the total market cap of Bitcoin today is 1.3 trillion US dollar. And this is what most people will think. This is thanks to Bitcoin being added to the spot ETF trade in the US starting in January. So if you go back and look at the chart there, this is when the price of Bitcoin took off, when it was actually included into the spot ETF. And so far, just a few months, the spot ETFs issued in the US already took in 60 billion US dollar investments. And hopefully, we might have the Bitcoin spot ETF in Hong Kong soon. That will also incubate the sector in Hong Kong and activate the Bitcoin trading in Hong Kong as well. So a lot of people quote this chart. What do people think of Bitcoin today? Well, most people would say it's store value item. Is it a commodity? Is it cash? Is it, I think a lot of people sway away from, actually just upfront and say what Bitcoin is. But as a store value item, a lot of people will use this chart comparing Bitcoin with gold. So the total market cap of Bitcoin today is 1.3 billion, as I said, US dollar, and gold is 14 billion. So Bitcoin is already 10% of gold, comparing to the total market cap. And a lot of people will compare, Bitcoin to gold and say, somewhat, the goal of Bitcoin followers will say it will replace gold, right? So I will go back to this point. This is the sentiment when we have the first Web3 festival last year. So a lot of people coming out from the crypto winter, a lot of projects, have difficulty in raising investments. And we came out from, a few years of ICO wave where there were thousands of cryptos being created and also thousands being wiped out, a lot of them in the first 2 years. So this is generally what have gone through when whatever technology blossom. You see people rushing into the scene, a lot of not so sophisticated teams and people not really working on technology go follow the wave, and then there will be some correction, and we go back to use case. This applies to every technology that we're seeing. And you know, the timeline of what happened in the last few years, you know, we all happened, the ICO wave in 16, 17 created thousands of tokens or cryptos. And then in 2022, Luna, Terra, and also FTX. And after that, you know, a few sanctions from the US government, first on Tornado Cash and then some other shutdown. And then the lawsuit against Coinbase and of course now Binance. So people, when I go to the Silicon Valley, I remember 10 years ago when I meet a lot of the blockchain team, everyone would say, hey, okay, government, none of the business, they shouldn't be stepping in and interfere with technology. But now every team that comes to Hong Kong and meet, they're looking for, hey, I want regulatory, I want to be licensed. I want you know, to have a regulatory control in the industry. So that's a big change in mentality in the last 10 years. And go back to the question I just raised. What is Bitcoin, right? So this is the fundamental of all cryptos. And now I think people have different ideas. But if you go to the white paper of Satoshi, that was in 2009, his wish is electronic cash. So he didn't say store value. He didn't say, you know, compared to gold, but electronic cash. But I mean, what I want to raise is we should all go back and actually think, as the technology evolves, it is actually what the technology support, and it is what everyone's perception. Everyone's perception of gold as store value, so gold has value. But if everyone thinks gold is rock, then it's just a piece of rock, right? So what is Bitcoin going forward? I think there are a few things that we have to work on. One is definitely the technology. The technology itself, if you look at AI, blockchain or crypto is just a baby. AI took 60 years for it to actually go from, you know, in the 1960s, everyone talked about, you know, what AI could provide, what AI can do. But for we to actually reach to the transformer mode and then the generative AI last year, it took 60 years for the technology to actually develop. So blockchain, or you can say crypto, you know, it's actually just a baby. From the time it's born in 2009, you know, and then a basket of all the other cryptos that were being born, you know, it's still an early stage of the technology. So I think we should not be distracted by the ups and downs. In my personal view, too much about the price of Bitcoin. Somehow it is related to investment opportunity. But you know, how we actually work on the technology, and the technology will interact with how, I mean, government, maybe legislators see what the technology can provide. This should be the focus that we should be all working on to provide further technology breakthrough, and that will actually support people's perception of what Bitcoin is. Because today, if you ask people, some will say store value, some will say electronic cash, some will say it's a scam. If it doesn't have, you know, a common perspective of what it is, what crypto is, the mass market adoption, how are we going to go there and really talk about replacing gold or other investment item? So I think working on the technology and getting a global perspective alignment is definitely the next step the industry has to do, and to make it, you know, a really ecosystem. So from crypto, what I want to go to is the whole Web3 ecosystem. This is just a snapshot of something I got online. There is a lot more companies. There are a lot more companies in here which is not on the map. But what I'm saying is it goes from blockchain, crypto, and it goes to a whole Web3 ecosystems. It goes beyond that. There are other area of a financial system and financial application. Also from traditional finance world, we can migrate to the crypto world or to the blockchain-related digital asset class. And there are more and more company going there. And I see events in Hong Kong now today. It's not like 10 years ago when I go to Silicon Valley. It's mainly dominated by technology people. But also in Hong Kong, I would say we see a good mix, half-half. I say half of the industry people in Hong Kong, they were coming out from financial institutions, from traditional FIs. So these people will bring around their financial expertise, the best practice of the financial markets in Hong Kong, the practice of governance and self-regulating, how to provide trustable products, financial items in the market. I think this is what we need, the convergence of financial market, the convergence of technological people, and also the adoption of legislation, regulatory issues in the way to provide that into a healthy development of Web3. So the whole ecosystem has to become a larger one for the better benefit of crypto, but not just working on crypto and just buy and sell investment of crypto. So I think this is necessary. And other projects you think may not be directly related to crypto, but I think what is important is if you want crypto, Bitcoin, to be more involved, to have more circulation, the interaction between fiat, non-fiat, and also data, tokenized data, and all other asset class tokenized is important. If you got all these other projects that we are working on, tokenized GameFi, data, city government data, seems like these are the blockchain projects that has been launched as pilot here and there. So what we are doing, we are actually getting all the data on-chain by doing tokenized projects like these. Getting more data on-chain, getting more assets on-chain, and these in the end, you will provide circulation and interaction between digital assets, digital currencies, and all different asset class. And this is how we have the circulation and provide use case to crypto, but not just simply speculations. So these projects are important. And looking at a chart from BCG, they expect the tokenized market in 2030. This is ex-crypto. This is tokenized equity, tokenized property, tokenized bond, things like these. If you're looking at providing a tokenized solution for all, not just data, but real-world assets, what we talk about, there's a lot of discussions in our panels, RWA, DPINs, different projects with use cases. Tokenize it will provide circulation interaction, as I said, between these tokenized assets and stablecoin and also various kind of cryptos. This is how you build an ecosystem. But not every time when Bitcoin go up, we got a lot of people come in and follow this market. And when it falls, go to winter, people just go away. This is not healthy. To have a healthy Web3 ecosystem, we need tokenization to be in different items. And we need regulations, we need legislation to govern, we need traditional financial system to actually tell people, these are trustable items. These are items where you invest, you know where the underlying asset is. And then, people's choice some will use crypto, some will use stablecoin, some will use CBDC. This is how you digitize everything and tokenize everything. And there's a huge market in that. So going back to Hong Kong, I think our DFS just mentioned, I would say, this is a light speed in terms of Hong Kong's adoption of Web3. Starting from 2022 October, the statement issued by the Financial Secretary is only, if you count, it's less than 18 months. From the day of the announcement to today, we already have legislate and regulate licensed virtual asset trading platform, where these are exchanges. And then we are in the discussions of stablecoin. Sandbox has been issued, so people can apply for a sandbox in stablecoin. And there are a paper about virtual asset OTC, which involved the physical transaction of virtual assets or digital assets. And for me, I'm actually thinking, I've been promoting the government to actually include also custodian, VA custodian licensing regime, because this is important to have protection for investors to have licensed custodian taking care of their assets. So if we can actually push through the VA custodian with the VA OTC and stablecoin legislation, the government is also trying on new projects like the tokenized green bond as mentioned. I think the legislation side, we are mostly completed. And exchanges can issue products in the VA market, and people can come in and buy and think these products are safe because they are vetted by our regulatory departments. And we can trial of new VA products being launched in Hong Kong. So what we need, I think we need a stable, continuing, evolving market for Web3, as I mentioned, but not just people interested in speculation of Bitcoin or cryptos. We need people to work on technology. So we need this event. We need all of you. I meet a lot of the team these few days. A lot of you are actually working on the technology. We want people to work on the technology in Hong Kong. And we hope there will be more cases like the tokenized green bond as mentioned by the Deputy Financial Secretary, more projects from the government that will try to tokenize data, tokenize assets, tokenize different use cases, and that provide circulation and opportunity for the tech team in Hong Kong to actually work on things like that. And of course, we have to provide a healthy, stable environment as mentioned to protect citizens from scams and to protect from wrongful issues of products. So we have to have a balance of providing an environment that will encourage the technology to grow here, but at the same time provide investor protections. So the getting all of you here is the most important part, and the legislation side, we have some colleagues here from LegCo, definitely will work forward to provide a healthy, stable environment for all tech teams to come to develop Web3 related technology and products in Hong Kong. Why Hong Kong? I think I have to do some advertising for Hong Kong as well. I think you all know about the tax system, legal system, everything about Hong Kong. And as our Financial Secretary Michael just said, there are Rugby 7 around town, so you can enjoy it while you build technology in Hong Kong. It's a really great and livable city in around the world. And I think I still heard people saying there are some shortcomings in Hong Kong. It's hard to hire talents, maybe hire engineering team in Hong Kong, cost of living, things like that. So, I mean, we just need all of you to be here. I mean, you go to Silicon Valley, it's also expensive. I do investments in, let's say, previously, let's say Israel or London, somewhere. These are all expensive. So where you want to go is where you have opportunities. I think what we provide in Hong Kong definitely today with the legislated procedures, we're providing a healthy environment for all team working on the Web3 area to come in here and work on your product, launch your product, sell it globally. I think this is definitely what Hong Kong can provide. So what we need is every one of you to join the boat, come to Hong Kong actually and build your technology, build your project here together. And then we will see a Web3 hub going out in Hong Kong to become an internationally recognized Web3 hub. Thank you, everyone.